Claire Hanna alongside Mark Masters. And Mark, I last saw you after Game 4 here at the Canadian Tire Centre when the Senators won their first game in the playoffs against the Maple Leafs. And you said, well, if you see me again, maybe we should sound the alarm bells. How is it feeling on the team?
Here I am again, and listen, it is a bit alarming, I think, for Leafs fans, certainly, that we're in this situation. The Leafs back here for a Game 6 after being one shot away from moving on a few days ago here in Game 4. A lot of talk about pressure here today. On the Leafs side, they are talking about how the only pressure is to each other, like what they owe their teammates in the room. They're tuning out the outside noise from guys like me, asking them about, the playoff demons and what they have to do better and all that. It's just about inside the room. But there's no doubt in the city of Toronto and amongst the Leafs fan base, there is a little angst right now that, oh my goodness, could this be happening again? On the Ottawa side, I'm wondering, right? They forced this series back here. Are they feeling now maybe a little bit of pressure because, they got this chance? They got a home game, chance to force a Game 7 when the pressure would be even more on the Leafs. What's your sense of the Senators? Is there pressure on them now?
Well, every question, I think, to players and coaches has been about pressure. What they're saying is they don't feel any pressure. Travis Green even said that after they won Game 5 in Toronto. But then today he kind of changed his tune a bit, saying, you know what? I think pressure feels different to different players, and some players enjoy it. They get excited about the opportunities like that. And Brady Tkachuk said something similar to that, like, we enjoy this pressure because it is an opportunity. I think when you look at this game, though, the fact that they got back home, the fact that the Ottawa Senators are so excited to play in front of Ottawa Senators fans, there is some pressure to deliver a win because of how long this city waited for the playoffs. Have they done more than expected at the beginning of the series when they were down 3-0? I would say for sure, but at the same time, the Ottawa Senators can taste this belief and confidence that they didn't have earlier in the series, and now they want to continue to move forward and hopefully get the series back to Toronto. Now, speaking of Toronto, there's been some line changes involving Max Pacioretty. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so 2 straight losses. You're expecting a change, maybe a couple changes. And the big move that Craig Berube is going to is moving Max Pacioretty up to the second line with John Tavares and William Nylander. And those three played together pretty well early in the season. Then Pacioretty got hurt, and of course we didn't see him for much of the end of the season. He was on long-term injured reserve, had not played since February 8th before the playoffs, and he got back in, of course, here for Game 3 and looked good in Game 3, not as much in Game 4. Game 5, no one looked particularly good on the Leafs side, and they just feel like to really maximize Pacioretty's skill set, they got to get him into the offensive zone. They believe the Tavares line is going to play more in the offensive zone, so they put him there, looking for a spark. And I got my eye on William Nylander tonight to see if this guy who led the Leafs in goals in the regular season, second in the league, 45 goals, he's only got one in the series. It was in Game 1, a 5-on-3 goal. 4-game drought now that matches his longest since February. So it's his birthday, by the way.
Yep.
Happy birthday, William Nylander. I
reminded
him, and he said some of the guys were saying happy birthday to him. They knew it. He said it was a good morning. He was having a good birthday. We'll see if he can make it a really good birthday tonight. So I got my eye on Nylander. I know there's been a lot of focus on Austin Matthews, rightfully so. He needs to respond. But I'm really looking at William Nylander tonight to see if he's going to have his big moment in this series. And he's been good at times. Last time in this building, 2 assists in that game helped the Leafs get to overtime when Jake Sanderson was the hero. So I'm wondering who you have your eye on tonight from the Senators side.
I think Jake Sanderson is a player that has broken out in this playoff series. He's been really good all season for the Ottawa Senators. Many of the Senators were saying we feel a little underrated, undervalued in the regular season, and I think he's a player that now the rest of the league and possibly Canada are starting to see as, okay, this is a defenseman who could be one of the best in the league to play. Now, Jake Sanderson, David Perron joked, I think he's getting underpaid. The sweet spot for him, according to Travis Green, for number of minutes to play per game is between 23 and 25 minutes. Well, in Game 4, he played over 30 minutes. In Game 5, he played over 26 minutes. So you're seeing him used a lot of the time, especially you saw that in overtime. He got the game winner in Game 4. You've also seen him do a pretty good job of shutting down Austin Matthews, who I believe just has 1 goal so far in this series. So watch for that matchup tonight. That'll be interesting. And I'm just really curious about the atmosphere in this building, because when we were speaking here ahead of Game 3 and 4, so much focus was on how many Leafs fans would be dominating the Canadian Tire Centre. You saw a number of them in Game 3. I'd say there was even more in Game 4, but that isn't even a topic that many people are even discussing. I only brought it up because we talked about it when the series was last here, but we just had Cyril Leader, the president of the Ottawa Senators, telling fans you should be in your seats by 6:45 for the game tonight. They've got some extra things planned. Brady Tkachuk mentioning it's going to be pure insanity. You made some jokes about that. And even the mayor of Ottawa, Mark Sutcliffe, he wrote an official letter to fans saying if you need an excuse to get out of an event or any important meetings tonight, I grant it to you. So you can go check that out online if you need to print it off and give it to anybody.
It's always political here in Ottawa. Why does it always have to be politics involved? Listen, I haven't seen anything from Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow just yet. Maybe I missed it, but as the leader of Masters Nation, I am granting permission to all of my followers to take the night off and watch our SportsCenter post-game coverage tonight. It's going to be good.